This is 4 stories to make your blood run cold. Listen, if you dare. Number 1. I was about 12 years old when this happened to me. When I was younger, my parents lived in the middle of nowhere. The house we lived in was surrounded by forests. As a kid, I loved playing in the woods. One day, I had decided I was going to go further into the woods than I ever had before. After a while of walking and pretending I was Robin Hood, I heard a strange, mechanical clicking noise. But I could not place where it was coming from. Eventually, I got bored and had decided it was about time for me to start heading home. As I began walking away, I heard the crunch of leaves behind me. I turned around, and what I saw nearly made my heart stop. There was a man standing, holding what looked like a Polaroid camera. He just stood there, leering at me. He opened his mouth, and what he said almost made my heart stop. "Don't you want to see my pictures?" My blood ran cold. I didn't even stop to think. I just started running as fast as I could. I didn't even stop to look back. I could still hear him shouting at me to come back. As soon as I made it back to my house, I told my mom what had happened. She called the police, and they searched the woods. But all that they found was a single Polaroid picture nailed to a tree. A picture of me. Number 2. This happened to me about 2 years ago. My parents were going out of town for a few days and asked me if I could house sit for them while they were away. I agreed to house sit for them. It seemed like a fun way to spend a weekend. The first day was great. I just spent the day playing video games on their big screen TV and eating free food from the fridge. The next night, I had decided to watch a movie. It was getting late, and I ended up falling asleep on the couch. I woke up at about 2:30. I still had the TV on. I switched it off and was just about to head into the master bedroom when I saw what looked like the figure of a man standing at the window. At first, I thought my eyes were just playing tricks on me in the darkness, until he started moving. He started banging on the window. I freaked out and ran into the kitchen to grab a knife. When I turned around, he was gone. I called the police, but they found no trace of him. The idea that someone was on the other side of the window, possibly watching me sleep, still gives me chills. Number 3. I'm a 19-year-old female. This happened to me last year. I live in a house with my 2 roommates. We'll call them Sean and April. One night, the 3 of us were having a bonfire in the backyard, just talking and drinking beer. I was starting to get pretty buzzed and sleepy, so I decided to call it an early night. I went back to my room and flopped down on the bed. As I lay there in the dark, I could swear I could hear some ragged breathing. Thinking it was just Sean trying to scare me, I quickly flipped on my light and looked around my room. I couldn't find anything. Thinking I was just more drunk than I thought, I turned the light off and got back into bed. As I lay there, listening, I could swear I could hear the breathing again. This time, I noticed it sounded like it was coming from right underneath my bed. I got up again, but this time, before I could even make it to the light, a hand came out from under my bed and grabbed my leg. I screamed and began stomping and punching the hand until it let go. I ran into the backyard as fast as I could, screaming and crying that there was a man in my room. We called the police, and they arrived within 15 minutes. They searched the house and found the man hiding in Sean's closet, holding a broken piece of glass. The police arrested him and took him away. We later found out that the man was homeless and schizophrenic. Sometimes at night, I still feel his hand grabbing my leg. Number 4. This happened to me 3 years ago. I was walking home from school when I noticed this black van following slowly behind me. At first, I thought nothing of it until he pulled up right beside me and rolled down his window. This weird guy then stuck his head out and asked if I needed a ride. I said no and kept walking, trying to ignore him. But he kept following me and kept insisting that I should just hop in. At this point, I was getting really freaked out and started jogging, just trying to get away from this weirdo. Just then, I saw a police car coming around the corner. The guy saw it too and sped away. So, weird Mr. Rape fan guy, let's not meet ever again.